Prayer and fasting are ancient spiritual practices that have been a part of many religious and spiritual traditions throughout history. While the specific rituals and beliefs around prayer and fasting may vary, the core purpose is generally the same: to deepen one's connection to the divine, the sacred, or the spiritual realm. But what exactly happens in the spiritual world when we engage in these practices? To understand this, we must first acknowledge that the spiritual world exists on a different plane of reality from the physical, material world that we normally perceive with our five senses. The spiritual realm is not bound by the same physical laws and constraints that govern our everyday existence. It operates according to different principles and operates on a higher frequency or vibration. When we pray, we are essentially reaching out and attempting to communicate with the spiritual forces, energies, or entities that exist in this unseen realm. Through the act of prayer, we are opening ourselves up to receive divine guidance, blessings, healing, or intervention from these higher powers. The specific words we use, the intention we hold, and the frequency or vibration we emanate all play a role in determining the response we receive from the spiritual world. Fasting, on the other hand, is a practice that is believed to heighten our spiritual awareness and sensitivity. By denying the physical body of food and nourishment for a period of time, we create space for the spiritual aspects of our being to come more to the forefront. The act of fasting is thought to purify the mind, body, and spirit, making us more receptive to spiritual insights, visions, and encounters. When we combine the practices of prayer and fasting, the effects in the spiritual realm can be quite profound. The act of denying the physical body creates an energetic void that the spiritual energies can then rush in to fill. This heightened state of spiritual awareness and receptivity allows us to perceive and interact with the spiritual world in ways that may not be possible otherwise. For example, when you pray and fast, you may experience vivid dreams or visions that offer you guidance, wisdom, or prophetic insights. You may feel the tangible presence of spiritual beings, angels, or your own higher self guiding and supporting you. You may receive profound spiritual downloads or revelations that transform your understanding of yourself and the nature of reality. On a deeper level, the interplay between prayer and fasting creates a powerful alchemical process within your energetic and spiritual bodies. The act of prayer, with its focus, intention, and devotion, helps to activate and align your chakras and energy channels. Fasting, meanwhile, burns away impurities, blockages, and limiting beliefs that may have been obstructing the flow of spiritual energy within you. As these two powerful practices work in harmony, they open up the gateways to the higher dimensions of consciousness. They help to dissolve the boundaries between the physical and spiritual realms, allowing you to access realms of existence that are normally hidden from ordinary perception. In this heightened state of awareness, you may experience profound shifts in your consciousness. You may feel a deep sense of connection to the divine, the universe, or the web of life that sustains all existence. You may receive downloads of universal wisdom or insight that transcend the limits of your personal, individual mind. Some people who pray and fast report having out-of-body experiences, astral projections, or vivid encounters with spirit guides, angels, or other non-physical entities. These types of experiences are often described as profoundly transformative, as they offer a direct glimpse into the workings of the spiritual realm. It's important to note, however, that the specific experiences and encounters one has during prayer and fasting can vary greatly from individual to individual. This is because each person's spiritual journey and receptivity is unique. Factors such as one's belief system, personal history, level of spiritual development, and innate psychic abilities can all influence the nature of the spiritual experiences one has. Furthermore, the spiritual world is a vast and multidimensional realm, with countless layers, realms, and entities that exist beyond our normal perception. The specific energies, beings, or dimensions that one encounters during prayer and fasting may depend on the individual's specific spiritual leanings, intentions, and the specific nature of their practice. That said, there are some common themes and experiences that are often reported by those who engage in prolonged prayer and fasting. One of the most frequently reported experiences is a deep sense of inner peace, calm, and centeredness. As the mind and body become quieter and more still, the chatter of the ego and the distractions of the physical world begin to fade away. In this state of deep stillness and presence, many people report experiencing a profound sense of interconnectedness with all of life. They may feel a deep sense of oneness with the natural world, with other living beings, or with the fabric of the universe itself. This experience of unity and wholeness can be tremendously healing and transformative. Another common experience is a deep sense of surrender and trust in the divine or the spiritual forces that govern the universe. As one engages in prayer and fasting, there is often a letting go of the need to control or manipulate one's circumstances. Instead, there is a growing acceptance and trust in a larger plan or purpose that is unfolding. This surrender can be both liberating and terrifying, as it requires a deep level of faith and trust in the unseen forces of the spiritual realm. But for those who are able to fully embrace it, it can lead to a profound sense of peace, guidance, and support from the spiritual world. Many people who pray and fast also report experiencing visions, intuitions, or insights that offer them greater clarity and understanding about their life purpose, their relationships, or the challenges they are facing. These downloads of spiritual wisdom are often described as coming from a place of deep inner knowing, rather than from the rational, analytical mind. These insights can provide profound guidance and direction, helping the individual to make decisions, overcome obstacles, or align more fully with their true path and purpose. They may also offer a glimpse into the deeper workings of the spiritual realm, shedding light on the invisible forces and energies that shape our lives and our world. In addition to these more subtle and internal experiences, some people who engage in prolonged prayer and fasting also report having more overt encounters with spiritual entities or beings. These may include visions or encounters with angels, spirit guides, ascended masters, or other non-physical beings that exist in the higher realms of consciousness. These encounters can take many forms, from brief flashes of light or energy to full-blown apparitions or channeled communications. The specific nature of the encounter may depend on the individual's spiritual beliefs, their level of psychic sensitivity, and the specific purpose or message that the spiritual being wishes to convey. For some, these encounters can be profoundly life-changing, offering them a direct experience of the reality of the spiritual world and the existence of non-physical intelligences that exist beyond our normal perception. They may receive guidance, healing, or empowerment from these spiritual beings, or be given specific tasks or missions to carry out in the physical world. Of course, it's important to approach these types of spiritual experiences with discernment and caution. Not all spiritual encounters are benevolent or positive, and it's crucial to have a strong spiritual foundation and the ability to discern the true nature and intention of any spiritual entity or energy one encounters. That's why it's so important to approach prayer and fasting with sincerity, purity of heart, and a deep commitment to one's spiritual growth and well-being. These practices are not to be taken lightly, as they have the power to profoundly transform one's consciousness and open the doors to the unseen realms of existence. When done with the right intention and preparation, prayer and fasting can be incredibly powerful tools for spiritual awakening, healing, and transformation. They can help us to release the grip of the ego, transcend the limitations of the physical world, and access realms of consciousness and wisdom that lie beyond the veil of ordinary perception. Ultimately, the experiences and insights that one has during prayer and fasting are deeply personal and subjective. They are a reflection of one's own unique spiritual journey and the specific lessons, messages, and energies that the divine or the spiritual realm is seeking to impart. So if you are drawn to explore the depths of the spiritual realm, I encourage you to embrace the practices of prayer and fasting with an open heart and a deep sense of reverence and humility. For in doing so, you may just unlock the hidden secrets of the universe and discover the true magic and wonder of the spiritual world.